What's up? It's Three Toe, and we are back here with Ace Attorney now. Last episode, we finally figured out what we've known for a long time now. Yanni Yogi. It's the book caretaker shop. Anyway, when it's toss your name. This one is, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. It looks totally different. This is real Yogi? I think finally he's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order. Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but you didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiance, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I mean, I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Karma, where's Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I'd like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well, this court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. But there is an air of unease. So what's going to happen? That is all. This court is adjourned. Something is not right. Did someone just say objection? It wasn't on Karma. That means no. Edgeworth? Oh fuck, what's going on? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6. He's going to tell them that he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do? Leave it. I'm going to trust Edgeworth on this. I'm going to trust Edgeworth. I'm sure Edgeworth thought about this one long and hard. This isn't my place to interfere. Like, are you sure? There's nothing we can do about it. This is his problem now. For 15 years, I've had a reoccurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the innocent incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitation which ends today. The culprit is me. Oh, come on. Order. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant is declaring innocent and confessing to a different crime for which the statute of limitation runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Cyrus, we hold a trial right here, right now. We tried this man for his crime from 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. This time I'll consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. I trust Edgeworth. I'm sorry, Wright. I just wasted all of your effort. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad. I didn't want to believe it myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy. Just crazy. Nick, what are you doing? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? Just a dream, not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right? Okay. This is where shit starts. This is where it goes down. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge Miles Edgeworth has admitted to his own guilt. He has committed his crime. Let's begin by hearing his testimony. Though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. Statute of limitation on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it is unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth... No, it's just Miles Edgeworth. His name's not Will. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is that correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Miles Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Yes. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. Okay, fair enough. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. Sure. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That is all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream. You're stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. That's the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Let's start pressing. Okay. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly, only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. Okay, so there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help, my father and Miss Yogi lost their composure and started fighting. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared and trembling in the corner. But then something heavy fell at my feet. What was it? A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? And threw it. Okay. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. You're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi. I was in a daze. The gun fired once. Yes, I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and the horrible scream. The scream. One part of one part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. I don't know what it means. I better find out. To this day, yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is, one part of the testimony. I got it. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, I know where I did it in the wrong place. Here. Now I do it. Now I present it. There we go. Are you sure you only one gunshot? Ready up. The music's about to start. Heard the shot and the scream, then everything faded. It's supposed to go to ba 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 ba. You know what I'm talking about. And then it goes Anyway, I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor. Unfortunately, you didn't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was when the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this is occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot had anything to do with the case? Yes. I think I'll be able to show you proof. What? Impossible. No, Mr. Von Karma. Save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have evidence? I see. One bullet hole right there. The other in Greg Edgeworth. I'm big braining this shit, guys. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. There's a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. You can see that the victim is lying there, I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. Let me illustrate. The photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Gunner, please, gonna click. Right there. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. See a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. It is weird to see Von Karma acting so rational. Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incidents, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Right, but who else could that someone be? The murder. Naturally. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasy got a hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. Page 1. Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. The pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one shot by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet or hole in the door. Order. I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, Mr. Von Karma says the second bullet fired was not found. It's highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all that we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Praise the judge for his wisdom in the matter. I don't believe that the same bullet didn't exist. Am I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. It looks like I was wrong. Nick, if that second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. You said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. This is just... When I saw the photograph, I thought that two shots had been fired. So I was certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought that was another person, someone else who fired the shot. Now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Well, it seems the way I finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was fired at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I'd like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did. No, he's accepting the guilt. Statute of limitation on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict of the defense today right here. Right now. Indeed, does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. Just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying. My mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? Ah! Okay, we're going to end off the episode right here. I'm at a loss, dudes. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right. For now, I'm going to end off this episode. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.